People, Deluded, I'm back again. A quick one now for me, you know, creativity is going to be a problem next season. You know, we've got Willian. I back Willian to do a job. I don't think he's going to get mad numbers, like he's not going to chase Kevin De Bruyne or and Henri's record and things like that for 20 assists, but I do think he can provoke attacking situations. I do think he'll chip in away from goals, just influencing the game. I think Willian will give us something. I'm not saying he's going to be PFA Player of the Year, but I think he'll give us something. Now, Willian gives us adaptability. He can play on either side of each wing, and he can play, for me, he'd be playing as a 10. That's actually what I'm here to speak about. Again, when I say 10, I don't always mean, you know, Mesut Ozil, poetry, emotion. I always have to explain it. When I see 10, say 10 sometimes, people, I could be referring to that, or I'm just speaking specifically on who in our midfield is the creative sort of man, or has been given the token to be that and try and link up with the strikers. So don't get too technical, but whether you want to call it a traditional 10 or central midfielder who's creative, we need that. Now, Willian can do a job there for me. Emil Smith-Rowe can play on the flanks, and he might have to play on the flanks if we're going to play three at the back, really. But he can get a role as a 10. You know, I'm prepared to give Willian and Emil game time there. Nelson's a winger, but I don't mind Nelson in that role. Joe Willock wouldn't be playing in there for me, but he is under Arteta, and Arteta knows more about football than me. So there's that. And then there's Bukayo Saka. And again, if we bring in an Aouar and renew the loan spell Ceballos, it's not exactly 10 stuff, but there's creativity in the midfield, so there isn't a spot. Now, for me, I want to see, I told man, Saka on that right wing is a shout. You know, people don't speak about how good he is on the right wing, because I used to see him do his jobs, whether it was in the EFL trophy, whatever it's called, or at under 23s level, do his job from the left and the right. I've seen him cut in and terrorise teams on that right-hand side. I love Saka anywhere. You know, if we need a job done at left back, he can do it. Right and left side of midfield, he can do it. Central mid, he can do it. But, you know, if we're not going to bring in a 10, and like I said, for me, you know, he's got a new number 7 shirt. He's playing on the flanks. But I'd entertain Saka as a 10, to be fair with you. Like I said, long term, it's not him. But if we're not going to bring in a creative man, I don't mind running that. Because Saka is good in tight spaces. You know, he can play under pressure. He doesn't panic, you know. Unlike the other young players as well that might be more naturals in this 10 role, you know, he gets his head up and he plays with calmness. So I'm actually open to, while like I said, you want to almost see Saka used exclusively on the flanks. I'm open to that idea if it's right now, especially if man don't come into this club that can do the creativity thing. If we can find creative central base midfielders or have better central base options, then by all means. But I think Saka could be used in that 10, man. He's good in them. He's good on the half turn. He knows when to play it simple. He can drive with the ball as well, which the modern day midfield you need to do. I don't think Joe Willock can do any of this to his level. Joe Willock can carry the ball and he has got an engine, but the decision making, the speed of thought, you know, the thought process, they're just not all there. Emil Smith-Rowe is still trying to get to that next level, so he is going to be hot and cold. Willian is that for me, but again, Willian's numbers aren't amazing. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But I would entertain Saka there, in my humble opinion, people. On that note, though, I've got nothing more to add, so let me get out of here. Deluded, I'm out.